So I've just come from another client session, and while it's in my mind, I wanted to share with you some practical advice in terms of how you can understand how any negative thoughts that you're having are impacting you and how you can interrupt the cycle. Because your job is not to stop having negative thoughts. Your job is not to only feel positive emotions because you can't control the thoughts you're having, particularly negative automatic thoughts. You can't control the impact that those thoughts are having on your emotions, feeling sad or angry or inadequate. And as a result of that feeling, you can't control what you're going to want to do. So the thoughts impacts our feeling, and then it's the feeling that drives our behavior. So your job is to, first of all, develop your self awareness, understand what thoughts you're having, particularly the negative thoughts, then understand what impact those negative thoughts are having on your feelings and emotions, and then understand how your feelings and emotions are impacting your motivation towards wanting to act in certain ways. And your job is to recognize those, what I call cycles or patterns, and interrupt them. So change one thing in those patterns or try to interrupt that cycle in order to not have that cycle complete, because it just repeats itself and repeats itself. And your job is the conscious you, the conscious self. It's got to be like recognizing these automatic patterns and taking steps to interrupt it in order not only for the negative cycle not to complete, but to do something positive or productive that's going to help you feel better. And this links back to my video, which you can watch on recognizing an opportunity in places where you're going to be sabotaged. So I explored with this client things that they could do that could help them to recognize those patterns. And one of the things that you can do is journaling. And I explored this in a previous video where you can structure your journal, where you can identify what thoughts you're having and the impact they're having on you. So you're basically creating like a flow chart. You're creating a flow chart and you're seeing the impact that this thing is having. And then you'll be like, all right, the more I journal, the more I reflect, the more I'm aware of the thoughts I'm having, the more I'm aware of the impact it's having, the more likely I am to be able to catch it in the moment when it counts. Label it, call it out, and then do something different. Act in a different way, consciously. Even if you may not feel like it, even if it's too late by that point, you have already recognized it as a negative cycle. A negative cycle that is not necessarily reflective of how you genuinely feel and who you are. Why would you want to act in ways that do not reflect who you genuinely are? It doesn't make any sense, because you're not living for yourself. You're living for someone else. You're living for this conditioned version of yourself, but you have been conditioned by people outside of you, by people who do not know you, by people who have not taken the time to know you. So really, you're not living for yourself. There's no true expression of who you are. And if you express who you truly are, I believe that is your unique selling point that sets you apart from anyone else in the world. We all have something of value that we should contribute. We all do. And these patterns of critical thinking and negative thoughts get in the way of that. So the way you can really logically work it through is to identify the thought, then understand the impact it's having on how you feel and how you act. And then along that way, instead of looking back and realizing, oh, I did it again, and oh, I wish I didn't do that, bring that intervention in sooner. And you only know that once you're aware and can catch yourself when it counts, before it's too late. So I really encourage you to do that. And I want to also encourage you to seek counseling. Even if you feel that there's nothing particularly wrong in your life, counseling is such a therapeutic, freeing exercise where you're able to just say how you feel, what's going on for you without any judgment, in a supportive space where that therapist will help to encourage you to optimize aspects of your life. Because it might be you have specific goals and you're not sure what's getting in the way. And it might be something to do with your emotions, or are you getting in your way? You might be having a completely happy life. You might be fine overall. You're not exactly depressed or, overwhelmed or anything like that, but you're not living your optimal life. And counseling is not just for those who are undergoing crisis, it's also for people who, want to improve something or not quite happy with how they react to things. Counseling is such an effective tool. So please go on my website and message me for your free consultation if you wish to. But I hope this video has been useful, and I appreciate you watching.